Christmas Day, surprisingly enough, is extremely busy here. We think that it roughly splits into two. The dog walkers prefer to get the dog walk over for the day by appearing here in the morning, and it's busy. And they appear here in the afternoon, either as an alternative to sitting in an armchair with a long string of Zs coming out their mouth, or alternatively have a nice walk on the beach in the fresh air. So Christmas Day is busy. Boxing Day is generally incredible. It's probably one of the busiest days of the year, with the exception of the height of the summer. Going back several years, the area was not what it is today. The car park was closed during the winter from the end of October, except at weekends, and the toilets were locked by kind permission and courtesy of the Bowles family who own the car park. We have been allowed, after the end of October, to keep the car park open during the day. Parking is by donation, and it's very helpful from the point of view of fundraising. Inevitably we do get the fair collection of foreign coins and bits and pieces, but most people are very generous and understand what it's about. We simultaneously, when this started, came to an agreement with Yarmouth Borough Council, who own the toilets, that we could keep them open during the week when the car park is open. I hesitate to use for the convenience of walkers, but because cleaning services are withdrawn by the borough at the end of October, I have in recent years been fulfilling a lifetime ambition to be a toilet attendant, and being aware of the fact that in the winter there is a frost risk, whereas if it is a severe risk, we drain the water off in the evening when we leave and turn it back on again in the morning. Something that isn't immediately obvious is the cost of flags. We do like to have flags on the station, but unfortunately, particularly at this time of year, the weather plays a big part in it, and we've had force 7, force 8 gales here, which shred the things very easily. We do have a more expensive version, which we use for ceremonial occasions, but unfortunately this particular flag costs just over £50, and we just really can't afford to keep them doing. So what we do is we buy a much cheaper version and just replace them when they get to the stage where they're totally unsightly. Quite apart from the sea and the beach, we have a huge area in terms of acreage of dunes. The dunes are very, very popular from walkers, dog walkers, people who study the flora and fauna. We have all sorts of issues like an assortment of mosses that are of interest to the botanists, natterjack toads, which are of interest to the naturalists, and we, in general terms, assist English Nature, who administer the whole of the dunes area, which is a SSSI, or a site of scientific special interest. Our own involvement can vary from baby hedgehogs, which we've had, bats, which we've had, oiled seabirds, which there are plenty and can be removed from the beach and passed on to one of the rescue services in the area. Really, absolutely anything in the form of wildlife we will take responsibility for if asked, and most of the inquiries come from members of the public who've encountered things. It's astonishing how many animals appear at the station wrapped in a towel or some item of clothing. Not to mention, of course, the fact that we have an almost steady run of dogs in the compound that in their wisdom have gone off after a rabbit in the dunes and got themselves lost, and we've over the years been able to reunite lost dogs with their owners. Over the years, it's astonishing the things that do happen, and they are very often just down to the fact that people are watching what's going on and aware that there may be a problem. It's basically body language. Body language exists not only with people but also with vessels, and we have had a situation where we watched a vessel discharge a semi-rigid inflatable with 9 heads in it, head for the shore, and a short time later went back out to the vessel and there was only 1 head in it, by which time we had scrambled the appropriate authority helicopter, and it was hovering over the woods just north of here where they located a minibus in the woods. There was an occasion in which a white escort van was parked in the turning circle. Nothing odd about that. There was a young lad driver who seemed to be wandering at random in the dunes. Nothing necessarily unusual about that, but he didn't have a dog and he wasn't following any of the established tracks. In other words, he was ploughing through very long marram grass, and a short time later he retrieved a package from the dunes and went back and sat in the car. A while later, a black BMW with 2 well-suited and booted gents appeared alongside, and there was an exchange took place, by which time we had notified once more the appropriate authorities. We did hear later that there had been £30,000 worth of ecstasy tablets involved in the incident. One of the most serious incidents recently involved an unprovoked attack on a dog walker by a Japanese Akita, which is a very large form of husky. He appeared at the station out of the blue and he had sustained a very serious injury to his throat. We applied a pressure bandage to arrest the hemorrhage, and he was subsequently removed to hospital where he was detained overnight, and they've had surgery the following day. Recently, a course was held in the village, attended by various people, but including watchkeepers, on the principles of first aid, updated from some of the old systems which become redundant. They seem to change all the time. We have now acquired a defibrillator, and each and every watchkeeper will require to be trained on the use of that, which we consider will be a great advance for Winterton Coastwatch, and will be a great asset to the village of Winterton and the immediate surroundings.